Hello everyone, this is CJ992 and today we're back from a brand new video. Today's video is an emotional video, ladies and gentlemen, and it's emotional because we finally, and I mean finally, get to sit here, just chill out and discuss some delicious Rangers rumours and talk about it in the comment section below. By God, it's been too long since me and thee just got to sit down and talk about some football. But believe it or not, despite that intro, we are not going to be diving straight into the football news. Nah, because I have something I have to say to you watching today's video, and that is a massive thank you. We have now reached over 39,000 subscribers. That is absolutely terrifying, and I just wanted to take a moment right at the start of today's video to genuinely say thank you, because I know the last 2 months has been pretty dire. There's been no football, there's been barely any football news, but you've still been coming on the channel, you've still been taking time out of your day to come and watch videos that you may or may not have subscribed to see, but you've been taking that time out, we've been having a laugh, and we've been going through this crazy thing that's been going on in the world right now together on this channel. And again, I just wanted to give a massive thank you. It genuinely means the world to me, and our channel continues to march on. Where will it end up? Who knows, lads, but I just want to say I'm enjoying every single second of it. But as it has been a wee while since we just got to sit down and discuss a delicious Rangers rumour, a part of the Rangers Roundup series, let's just get to it then, shall we? And the first part of today's video will be just getting right to it, because there has been a certain player linked with Rangers over the last 4 days that's just been getting hotter and hotter in the press. Instead of calming down, as of this morning, there was even another 2 stories about the lad, and this interest from Rangers Football Club. And in case that title doesn't give away, we're obviously here to talk about someone with a pretty good last name, and that's none other than Lewis Ferguson. Now granted, it's probably because of that last name that he's constantly linked with us, but the way it's been reported over the last 4 days, it sounds as if Lewis Ferguson is apparently on the top of Rangers' transfer list. But as always, before we actually break down and discuss whether or not we believe this to be true, let's actually have a look at Lewis Ferguson's player profile and see if it should be. Lewis Ferguson is still only 20 years old, and he is the son of Derek Ferguson and the nephew of Barry Ferguson. I don't know if you know that, lads, because it's no as if they ever mention it. But still, he was of course a part of the Rangers Youth Academy, where in 2013 he was eventually let go and very quickly snapped up by Hamilton's very talented Youth Academy, and from there he spent a few years progressing through the ranks and eventually broke through for the first team for Hamilton, playing 14 times and contributing a very impressive 5 assists as well. And because of that form, ended up moving him to where he now plies his trade up in Aberdeen. Now, unlike most of our player profiles, what we do here on the channel whenever we are linked with a Rangers roundup, I don't think I need to tell you too much about Lewis Ferguson as a player, because we've all seen him play, and we've annoyingly seen him play very well versus Rangers nearly every single time he plays against us. We all know with the aggression that he plays with, the grit and determination, the willingness to dive in and smash someone, but also the willingness to get on the football, run 40 yards and either try and have a shot or try and slot someone in. We've seen that in his brief time at the top flight of Scottish football. And these attributes are why at just the age of 20 years old, he is closing in on 100 professional matches already. That's very impressive. He currently sits at 98. But let's look beyond the clickbait and dive into these numbers and break down just what this man has done so far. In the top league in Scottish football, he has played 68 times, contributing 6 goals and having 16 assists to his name as well. By the way, it's worth pointing out he's also picked up a very impressive 23 yellow cards in those 68 games, a number I feel would drastically increase if it came up the road. I think it's fair to say he loves a challenge. However, despite the 23 yellow cards, he has only received 1 red card, a number I would also feel would drastically change if it came up the road. But let's move away from Scottish football and the Scottish Cup competitions and take a look at the European level, because for Aberdeen, he has a wee bit of European pedigree as well. 8 games, 2 goals, 3 assists. Not too shabby. So with all that in mind, let's take a step back and look at Lewis Ferguson's footballing CV at just the age of 20. As we mentioned earlier on, he has played 98 games, and in those games he has 11 goals and 23 assists. So that's the man's player profile and footballing CV. Now let's say he did come to Rangers. Again, let's not discuss whether or not it will be. Let's say he did come to Rangers. What would the competition for places be like if Ferguson came into that dressing room? Well, he's a centre midfielder, lad, so I think it's safe to say it's stacked. With the likes of Ryan Jack, Stephen Davis, Scotty Arfield, Glenn Kamara, Joe Aribo, Greg Dockery and the returning Ross McCrory, that right there would be a very interesting battle to put Ferguson in to see if he can get on that part. But by the way, I just want to say I'm not going to look down on this potential transfer and be like, no, we didn't need another player for Aberdeen. Another player for the Scottish game isn't going to improve us, because I would just like to remind you a very similar response when we were linked with Ryan Jack, and I was sitting here smiling for here to here on this channel. There was some people questioning Ryan Jack and bringing someone for Aberdeen, and I think it's fair to say Ryan Jack has proved his worth in a Rangers shirt. So yeah, I'm not going to judge Ferguson and be like, oh no, we didn't need a player for Aberdeen, because we never know how good a player is going to be. They can come for the best clubs and the best pedigree, but until you're put in front of that crowd with the blue shirt, you never ever know. So it is interesting, lads, and it's a very interesting conversation to have down there in the comment section. We've been able to sit here and talk about football. So now you've seen his player profile, you've heard his footballing CV, and we've obviously kind of looked at the competition for places. What do you think? Do you think we should sign Lewis Ferguson? Is he the type of player that we need? And two, do you think this rumour is true? While you're having your say, I will give you mine very, very briefly. First up, do I think Lewis Ferguson is good enough, or do you think Rangers should sign him? You know some lads, I 100% would take him. He's got that bit of grit, and he's willing to stick the fit, and he's willing to get a bit dirty, roll up his sleeves, and I think that in some of the games, especially in the second half of the season, is what we were missing. Just a couple other players there that's willing just to absolutely nail someone and get in people's faces. And you see it at 20 years old, he is screaming at captains and boys in their 30s in the Aberdeen team, telling them to come on. I think he's got that kind of Ferguson aggression, we should say. But that actually leads me to the second question, and despite everything I just said, and I would want to actually sign Lewis Ferguson, I think he's worth a punt because he's got the intangibles, as they say. And there's nothing in this, lads. It's absolute paper talk and agent nonsense in my personal opinion. It's just because of his name, because of how he's performing, and because Rangers are a big club, he's been linked with it. That's all I think this is. But now I've got a massive, massive smile on my face, lads, because now that me and thee have had their say for the first time in far, far too long, let's jump over to Twitter and hear from the people. Now, there's been 1,675 votes, and there's still 20 minutes remaining. That's Undefeated Nation. Thank you so much. And I asked them the exact same question as I asked you watching today's video. Do you think we should sign Lewis Ferguson? And 69% of the votes yes. So over at the comments in, and the first one comes in from DK Neil, and he writes in, think it would be a good investment, but in all seriousness, whose place is he going to take as we are so stacked in the middle of the park? Well, that's an interesting discussion down there in the comments that I hope people are getting involved in, because I want to see what your thoughts are. Penna Cartel writes in, absolutely yes, I've been all for that for about a year. Better player than many give him credit for, and he adds the physicality we lack in midfield. Can't go another season getting bullied out of games against absolute dross. Fair enough. Matt writes in, nah, not needed in my opinion. Too many midfielders already. Arfield, Hadji, Jack, Davis, Kamara, Aribo and Dockery, to name a few. Well, Hadji's, I wouldn't say he's up there. He's going to be battling wee Fergie in the middle of the park. I think Hadji's going to be further forward or on that dreaded right wing, but I understand your point, mate. Barney Stinson writes in, is he really the level of player we should be looking for? As a backup and development player, maybe, but as a first team pick, I'm not so sure. We are sitting with two main midfielders as it is. I'd rather we looked at striking options, as Alfredo isn't always going to be here. Jack simply writes in, yes. Dickie writes in, would take him as he's better than the likes of Kamara and Stephen Davis now, in my opinion. Philip Hugh McGregor writes in, yes, 100% in my opinion, replacement for Kamara, and he's a Rangers fan. Dino writes in, it feels good to be able to do a CJ poll. It does, Dino, sir. We tip to the quarantine hat that's hiding the quarantine haircut to you, sir. He writes in, a no-brainer in terms of what we need in the middle of the park. Doesn't have the potential, hope I'm proven wrong, to be even as good as his dad, let alone his uncle. However, he comes from a family of winners and he bleeds blue. Bob Steele writes in, not sure he's the kind of quality we're looking for. Certainly no better than Greg Dockery or Ross McCrory, let alone his dad or his uncle. You can see it's gone back and forth, lads, back and forth. I like that, it's interesting. I've missed this, lads, I have. Gregsy Loyal writes in, top player and he's still young, hopefully follows in the footsteps of his uncle and dad. And the last one we'll read out in tonight's video, we'll scroll all the way up here, we'll scroll all the way down here, and we'll stop it right here. And it actually comes from Janie, and she writes in, I'd love to see him, but we really need to focus on strengthening up top and in defence if the Buff and Barisic potentially are heading off. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've heard from me. You've heard from the people. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do by now. Now, with all that being said, as this is a cheeky little Rangers roundup, we obviously have a part 2 of today's video, but don't worry, it's not going to be as long as part 1. I'll let you go out and enjoy the rest of your day. We're obviously here to discuss, we have to give our thoughts on the fact that the Spfl has called this season and it's officially over, and relegation and a title has been awarded. And I'll be honest right off the bat, there's been so many people messaging me being like, haha, get up you raging mate, oh, we've won this, we've won that. But I'm going to tell you something, right, and I really mean this. This is honest to God truth. I didn't come here and BS, lads. I always tell you what I honestly feel and think, whether it's right or wrong. Since that announcement has came out, it's no really even fazed me. Now, last season I was absolutely fuming and raging at Celtic winning the league, and I said that on this channel. I was, quote unquote, haha, raging mate, blah blah blah. I was last season, but the way it's all kind of happened this season, and us knowing now for weeks and weeks and weeks the SPFL would just award the title to Celtic, it's all just kind of felt inevitable. Like, obviously I'm not happy that Celtic's won the trophy, you know what I mean? I'm not happy that their fans are celebrating and doing their things and everything like that, because I never ever want to see them happy. But I'm not going to be sitting here absolutely spewing as if we just lost the title in the last game of the season, because we didn't get to play the last game of the season. In fact, we didn't get to play the last 8. And to me, again, this is just my opinion, you can't deny that the title was awarded and not won on the park. And I know some people are saying that to be defiant and screw you and looking to get bites, but genuinely, I'm not even saying that for bites, lads. I'm not trying to get under the skin of anyone. I'm just answering and giving my thoughts and opinions on the way this season has ended. Honestly, if Celtic continued to smash teams left, right and centre, and we kept dropping points and they won, just coasted the league and everything, I'd have been fuming, right? There would have been tears given how we performed in the first part of the season. But that's an if and maybe scenario. We don't know for a fact, and we'll never know now if Celtic would have continued to do that, because if we're using this whole ifs and maybes, and Celtic could have went and done this if the season continued to went on, but you could just flip and say, aye, but they could have lost the 2 Old Firms, struggled in the last couple of games, and you could have had a helicopter Sunday scenario or a game. It's beef, if and maybes, and that right there has just kind of made the whole thing, like the whole way the season ended, kind of anticlimactic, because we'll never ever know now. We didn't see who won the league, we've seen who it was awarded to. But I know some Celtic fans will be foaming at the mouth now, and they're going to be fuming, and they're going to pretend that they're not fuming by being fuming and writing their stuff and have fun with that. But honestly, that's just how I feel. Am I disappointed this season has been officially finished at 30 games? Absolutely. Would I've loved the football to come back, whether we won or lost? Absolutely, because I just love watching Rangers play, lads. Win, lose or draw, we're always a part of the journey. But am I surprised about the way it's happened, the way it's been awarded it? No. And I'll be honest, my footballing side of the brain is actually more interested in this whole relegation side of things and what's actually happened to Hearts, because that to me is absolutely baffling. How can any team either profit or be punished during a global pandemic? That really doesn't make any sense to me. The only saving grace about Hearts, if they eventually go down, is at least we'll stop dropping points at Tynecastle, because I've had enough of that. But with all that being said, that is me officially done and dusted with today's video. Hopefully you did enjoy it enough to be hitting a like button and get involved down there in the comment section below. As always, I've been Siege over 92. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.